have that have been advised us on the best practices to give you an indication of, what their scope is out in the app world. They have the number one most downloaded app right now in New Zealand and Australia. They have had over 100 million downloads of their apps. And so, we're super excited about this because we know this is a major winner. But I think one of the focuses, Jonathan, as you said, is the power of validation of this next 100 days with this app. It's the first time ever that us as consumers, us as an audience, us as the power of one and the power of people have the ability to share in the profits of apps like the example we use of Clash of Clans. This is your all's ability to go out and promote something that's cool, that's fun, that literally 20, 30, 40 million people can download, and you're going to get rewarded for the ripple effect that you create by starting to play this game. And that's the amazing thing about it. So super jazzed, super excited.
Heck yeah, absolutely. And we'll cover more, too, as we get closer to the actual release date in your market. We'll cover more, too, some best practices, because the truth of the matter is how you promote this is just by playing it, right? You just literally have fun playing the game, creating puzzles, challenging your friends, and that's the behavior that goes viral, which is just such a game changer for anybody who's ever, built a business before, literally built a business that has the ability to pay you income, to pay you dividends on your time and energy that you invest. To be able to have, building a business literally equate to, challenging your friends to guess your puzzles and your favorite games and all these other things. I mean, that's pretty insane. I think we just possibly created the world's funnest business on the planet. So we're really excited about that. And moving forward, this is one I get to cover too. Sorry, guys. I think you're up next, though, Craig or Brian. But we have locked down the first hard good product that we are introducing into the Rippln, and it is the world's first voice-activated smartwatch. And a part of me is sorry, everybody, that all we can really do is show you these slides right now, because if we were actually in a live environment and I could just literally, take my call on my watch right now, or hit a button and tell the watch to find me a restaurant that's around me, and next thing you know, it's looking up restaurants. I mean, literally, it's a true story. I walked into Rippln Unleashed, and nobody knew we had this watch yet, right? So I walk in, and a bunch of our teammates are all hanging out in the lobby, and all of a sudden somebody calls me, and I literally just hit a button on my watch, and I put it up to my face, and I go, "Hey, what's up?" Everybody stops and looks. And the guy who was the waiter, okay, he was just helping serve drinks, etc. He's just standing there, right? He's not even serving drinks, nothing. He's just looking at me. He's like, "Who the hell are you, James Bond?" And that's literally the response that you get from this watch. And we are so excited to really be able to introduce a limited quantity of these to the Rippln, because this product really represents, I believe, the innovation and the intention of our company, and what we're really setting forward. And truly, it's one of the coolest darn products that exists in the world today, which I believe is gonna sell like crazy throughout this holiday season in the Rippln. Simply by socially sharing this product, we've all really got the ability to I think make a ton of money this holiday season. So just to confirm, can you see it now? I'm blazing through the slides. I just want to make sure you can see it. So you should be able to see the world's first voice-activated smartwatch. Can we get a confirmation there, Craig? Or
I can definitely see it, Jonathan.
Okay, well, if you can see it, then it must be just maybe a little lag for people depending on where they are in the world.
Hey, we know you can see it, Brian. You see it in your mind.
That's hilarious. Jedi Brian. So yeah, in any case, last thing we'll say about this is that we do have a limited quantity. And so, we might be putting out some pre-order notifications sometime next week. Guaranteed, these are all going to disappear. So if you want to kind of be James Bond for your friends this year, for Christmas and all that jazz, make sure that you take furious action when we put out the notification next week, and we're really going to want to be gauging sort of everything and getting your guys' feedback on as, hey, do you think this is a crazy cool product? How many of these do you think you might want to share with your friends just for the holiday season, etc. And so keep your eyes peeled for that email because that will be an important one. And Brian, Craig, anything you guys want to add before we blaze on?
Just a quick thing, JB, is like with the guest through and also this watch, I think the cool thing is going to be when people actually get a chance to see and play themselves, because the insane thing is that it literally does work how you're describing it. And I know that spun me out with the watch, for example, and the app. Yeah. It's awesome.
Exactly. And I think one of the funny things too, Craig, is think about if you were literally just sitting in Starbucks talking on your watch all day. I mean, how many of these things do you think you'd sell? All you do is hang out in Starbucks and, just have conversations on your watch all day and see what happens. But I'm pretty sure your business will be cranking. So, the next concept that we're really going to talk about, which truthfully, this is, once people wrap their hands around it, this is an absolute game changer. Craig, I don't know if you want to come out here and really share a little bit of what's been going on behind the scenes with OpenID, because I know you've really had your hands in a lot of this, and it's just such a game-changing concept.
Yes, I mean, basically it comes down to the fact that we can't do everything, like all the potential and the possibilities and the different aspects of commerce and the different markets that we could tap into. We'll never be able to do it all by ourselves. And so the cool thing about Rippln OpenID will be the ability for others to actually plug into the system, essentially. So other services, whether it be apps, whether it be people who have a product to sell, for example, like e-commerce, they'll be able to plug in basically a Rippln Connect style widget on their website or app, just like you see with Facebook Connect, where they'll actually be able to log in with their Rippln ID, and then everything that happens beyond that point can be tracked back to the Ripple. It really is just starting to leverage the power of the globe and all the people outside of who we have within our team. So basically it's just going to completely triple and double and everything, the capabilities, and we'll be able to accelerate the growth a lot faster.
That's insane. So let me get this straight, my friend. Pretty much, we are going to have the ability, starting in September, correct? I think we're releasing our first OpenID proof of concept or Rippln Connect proof of concept in September, right?
Correct.
And so basically, if you've ever seen the Facebook Connect button in an app on a website where you don't even have to do anything, you can just click Connect with Facebook, and it instantly, hooks you into that site or pops you into the newsletter, whatever the thing is that you actually want, gets you into the app. We're literally going to have our own Connect with Rippln button that hooks us into any app, any site, any e-commerce, any mobile commerce, and all the commerce, all the activity that takes place within that site can actually be tracked back to the Ripple just by somebody clicking Connect with Rippln. Is that what you're telling us, Mr. Craig?
It is indeed, Mr. Jonathan. And something to remember as well, just with the power of this sort of technology, but not only the power, I guess, but just the fact that you don't see those sort of systems out there every day on every site. So I'm sure it won't be without its teething problems, but when you realise that you see obviously Google, you see Facebook doing it, you see Twitter Connect, LinkedIn, there's not many sort of small-time players who are out there doing it because of the sheer cost of it, for starters, and just the complexity of delivering something like this when it's connected to this massive social graph. So it's pretty exciting to be doing something as cutting edge as that.
And also, just a keynote to piggyback on what you're saying, Craig and Jonathan, is, and this is so critical for everyone to really understand the vision of this. There's no one monetizing it. Is all of these people that are using this type of technology are using it to just continue to piggyback off of your audience and to open, up that ID to be able to connect into the invite process. But the reality of it is we are going to monetize this globally and create this entire infrastructure of reinventing commerce with Rippln Connect. And so, if you can imagine just, partnering with some of the, brands that you love. And literally when you go to their websites, whether it's Lululemon or, whether it is, Beats by Dre. I'm just using these as loose examples. When you go to that site, it would literally say log in as you pick out the product that you like. Log in with your Rippln credentials, which would be your email and your password. When you did that, it would actually open it up and it would track every transaction that you made on that site all the way through the Ripple to where literally you could have someone that is in Russia that's 15 ripples below you that you're getting credit for, and you're also getting rewards off of that transaction. And that's the power of it. I mean, it's huge.
Mm-hmm. And I know we've been hard at work on our first proof of concept too, Brian. I don't know if you want to share a little bit about Case Monkey, which is coming out in September. Just walk us through the process of sort of how this will work.
Yeah, well, and Craig has been, once again, the meat in the sandwich there. He has been integrally involved with all of the integration here. But I think one of the cool things is the relationship that we're establishing with some major players in the marketplace. And, Case Monkey is one of many sites that gives us the flexibility to create customized product offerings. And the individual that's helping us with this integration and this partnership was a senior engineer at a company called Zynga. And I think you're very familiar with Zynga. But with Case Monkey, what's cool about it is the novelty that we can create. And, I remember talking to Jim Bunch when he saw this, and he said, this is so cool because everyone has a smartphone today, and everyone looks for cool cases. He's like, my wife will go in and create 4 cases for different outfits and different events that she's utilizing. And the main purpose behind this was, number one, is to show people the international aspects of this. So as we tie into Case Monkey, you go in there and you custom create the product that you want, and then, they will actually not only build that product specifically for you, but they'll also ship it to you or to the other people and customers and friends and fans that you engage with around the world. So I think that, Craig, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that currently it's like 17 or 27 countries, something of that nature. But once again, the next 100 days, this is about proving the concept and validating the concept for everyone, within the Rippln community out in the marketplace. And all of these components help us go virally with the conversation. So if you think 1.2 million was strong in 100 days, as these initiatives start going viral, I think that we're looking at 10 times the numbers that we've seen at the beginning.
Yeah, and just to add in as well, as far as the way the Rippln Connect will work, in certain cases, it's not just a case of logging in with Rippln, it's the ability for someone to actually create an account on these third-party sites. So, for example, with Case Monkey, it'll become a tool that people can use to actually refer just like with Guesseroo, refer family and friends to actually go and purchase the case. And so if they don't already have an account, they'll have the option to create a Rippln account on the fly and get a discount off the purchase, and they'll be added to your Ripple.
Got it. So
and then also
the social sharing of commerce also will cause your Ripple to go viral.
Correct.
Yeah. That's so powerful. I mean, this really is exactly what we've been sharing for the last 100 days, truly coming to fruition. Is in process right now. So, I know that even when you start to think, what could the power of the Rippln community, what could our buying power turn into? I mean, truly, with our fan base and our player base, all the people who are becoming Rippln players right now and really starting to grow a real business and starting to grow a real income, and all the fans that are following those players, what could the buying power of our community become? And I start to think of things like, what happens when there's, Rippln integration with Amazon, right? What happens when there's, literally the largest sort of shopping portals in the world want to connect with Rippln because of our incentivized power, the buying power of our community. I mean, that's just insane to think about. And I think if we can all hold a goal for where we want to go, I think over the next 100 days, every single one of us really has to set that goal of, how do we blow these models out of the water? How do we prove this concept in such a huge way that literally, it opens the door for us any place we want to go in the world. And like I said, all the pioneers, the people who are on the line right here, right now, I don't believe there's ever a better time to be involved with a company and really have a financial sort of stake in the company, right? You're helping build it and also the chance to get rewarded as the thing goes viral. Now is really the most exciting time I think you could think of. Brian, did you want to share there too?
Well, yeah, I think that, and you started this conversation just a few seconds ago, Jonathan, and this is something I want to reiterate to everyone. Isn't it true that we're all on this telephone line because we do want to innovate? We do want to move into that blue ocean that we're talking about. And we could literally talk about that one aspect of our business model. We could do a 2-hour webinar on it. And I think that what Jonathan was pre-framing to everyone earlier in this conversation is that we're going to segment this and do specific webinars and education on these over the next 2 weeks. And then I think Thursday or early next week, we're also going to talk about maximizing the rewards that you're going to generate, with these different initiatives, which is so important. But when you look at Rippln Connect just in general, that is true innovation. And literally, when you talk to people in the tech communities, they literally see what we see and they're like, wow. But the value behind that Rippln Connect is our ability to drive audience, our ability to build audience. And that's why you on this telephone line are the most important differentiator. And that's why the bulk of those transactions is being paid to you as Rippln players.
Exactly, my friend. And that kind of segues us into this next conversation, which really, Brian, this is something I know you were spearheading for months and months and months. And the Rippln vision, it's insane, but the Rippln vision has really continued to grow. Each person that came to the conversation, it was like the idea, the vision morphed, and it kept morphing and morphing, and it got so darn big that it's like literally like, oh my goodness, when we execute this, this will change the world. Like, this will change the game. But a part of that early vision was really the concept that we call app craze. And, Craig, you can also give us an update in a second, but Brian, if you could just bring us through, what is app craze and what's coming, I believe in September. I know we had originally looked at this also launching in September, which is another just completely game-changing concept. I think it's going to blow everybody away.
Well, it is. And to give everyone perspective, because I think the most important thing is to address where we're at as a company. That's why we opened with, the 3-stage rollout of where we're at is, actually, and Craig can talk more about this, we could have had this by the Rippln Unleashed event, but the amount of energy and effort on all of the player stats and the actual visual of the games that you guys are going to be getting released this week really inundated all of the programmers. I mean, it's a massive, massive project because it's, true transparency to where I don't think anyone's seen it before on the behavior that we're wanting to drive in the market. And, really the conversation of app craze is what all of us know and get excited about because there is no heavy-handed selling. And that's something that we all feel passionate about is the ability to get rewarded without selling. And that's where the entire app market not only is, it has been, and it's a relatively new market, meaning how do apps truly go viral? How does an app hit 40 million downloads in 60 days? Well, you're getting ready to see it and get ready to get paid off of it. But how they go viral is by us getting behind them and sharing them with our friends and being able to connect them with our contacts in our phone or our contacts in Facebook and the social graphs that we already have built. And we create a ripple effect for those apps that we enjoy to play. And some of these apps have a long-term value. Some of them have a short-term value. But make no mistake about it is that, the apps in the marketplace today, search and discovery is broken. And, everyone's trying to figure out how to do it because there's more developers of apps out there than we'll ever get to see the apps that they develop. And the reason why is they don't know how to get audience. And that's where the value is going in this marketplace, and that's what we're going to share. And one of the real unique tricks with this over the last really 15 months has been how to truly track it to where we can, where we can reward people for the ripple effect they have with that app. And that's what we've been able to figure out in the integration. And not only do we have a lot of the top brand apps that we have rewards to offer to, all of you that start virally sharing them, but we also have unique apps that no one's heard of. And I think the important thing about that is the association that it brings with our brand name and the traction we can get in the marketplace. And so, for instance, you see here one of the first 5 apps that we're going to introduce into the App Crates catalog is Candy Crush, which is, I think, the top downloaded app right now.
It's number 2.
It has been for number 2. I know it's one of them.
Highest grossing in the world right now.
Yeah, the number 2 highest grossing in the world, and this is basically you saying that you have a partnership to refer that to individuals. Now, the reality of it is it's not always going to be the number 2, but I believe that it gives you perspective on how powerful that is. And so right now we're choosing to release 5. And the reason for that is a confused mind says, no, we could release 100. But if we released 100, you wouldn't know which ones to promote and to get behind. And once again, that's another webinar that, Russell and Jonathan and Dr. Scott and Michael Rutherford, a lot of the individuals that truly know how to promote, we're going to get behind and share with you how to truly promote these, to how it's going to impact your reward plan to where you can maximize them. And we'll start slowly, and then we'll start releasing more and more and more. So, Craig, you might want to give them some updates there and some of your thoughts and excitement behind this whole process.
Yeah, I mean, it's the cool thing is that it is very simple. There's not lots of weird, convoluted things with it. It's just literally a case of you can share an app, whether it's social, whether it's through an SMS or email, and you'll get attributed all the installs that happen from that link that you share. So, I mean, that's at its core how it works, and it's just, like you said, a question of being targeted with what apps we start with, and just monitoring it, and different apps will have different value to the person who's sharing the links, depending on the app itself. But the process itself will just be so seamless where it will just become another tool they have access to in the dashboard.
I mean, this is seriously insane, though, because you think right now, each and every one of us who's on this line probably has a Ripple bill of some kind, right? We may have 50 people on our Ripple. We may have 100. We may have 1,000. We may have 10,000. We may have 100,000 people on our Ripple. Well, imagine when you just literally log into startmyripple.com, just like we always do, and you pull up the little App Crates button, and you see Candy Crush is there, and you click, share this with my contacts, and you share a link, hey, download Candy Crush, come play with me, blah, 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 blah. And let's say that, just for illustration purposes, 1 Ripple point gets rewarded to you when you do that for every single download you get. And so let's say you share it with 100 contacts in your phone, and 20 people download it, well, boom, 20 reward points go into your Ripple. Well, that's pretty cool, because those are all redeemed for cash. But what happens when your Ripple starts doing the exact same thing? What if you have 10,000, downloads referred just from your Ripple of 1,000 people, which is actually nowhere even out of the. I mean, that's a really small number. We could easily, every one of us could probably get 50 people to download that app if we really wanted to, easily. Well, what if you had 10,000 people download the app anywhere in your Ripple? You'd actually make $1,000 just from that happening in this illustration. If you had 100,000 people download this app anywhere in your Ripple, which when we're talking 100 million downloads, okay, 100,000 is like, that's just normal virality. You'd actually make $10,000 in this illustration from 100,000 people downloading this app in your Ripple. I mean, this is where it starts to get insane when you think about how all of these concepts are coming together, really coming to market at the same time. This is nuts. And so one of the things I just want to remind everybody as well is, while we're talking about this, you can all be inviting people to your Ripple right now, right? literally while we're talking about this, you could be at startmyripple.com sending a new invite to somebody on Facebook, sending another invite to a new friend that you met yesterday at the cafe. Who haven't you invited in your mobile phone? Who haven't you connected with in a while? All of us, we should always be thinking, right? This is literally the mindset of an entrepreneur. How do we grow? How do we build our asset every single day? And how you build this asset every single day is you literally just think, hey, who have I not invited today, right? Or who have I invited today, whatever way you want to put it. But, setting that goal for 2 invites a day, 5 invites a day, 10 invites a day, as your Ripple continues to build and we start to introduce things like app craze and all these other concepts, that's where this really turns into just an incredible business. And last thing I'll say before we move on is obviously, there are no income guarantees, full income disclosure. I don't know what the appropriate income disclaimer text is, but just, basically, there are no income guarantees. Obviously, any of that is simply illustration purposes, education purposes, but we can't guarantee anybody will earn an income in Rippln. You just can't make that guarantee. However, we do believe in the power of the model that we're creating, and I think it speaks for itself as to what the potential is. And honestly, my friends, it's really what you put into it. What you get out of Rippln is what you put into it. So if you actually spend time, sharing the app with your friends, if you spend time growing the Ripple, if you spend time talking to the people inside your team and, encouraging to level up from being a fan to a player, what you get out of this, what you put into it. That's the way life works. So, if you want to get a lot out of Rippln, put a lot into it, and I think that there's, unlimited possibilities here for you. So, anything more you guys want to say before we move on?
No, I mean, I think you're hitting the nail on the head. And I know that this is pretty lengthy webcast, but I think it's important because, some people think seeing is believing, and then visionaries saying, we believe it, therefore we see it. And I think that that's where all of, these components and all these collaborators that have come on board with the platform that we're building at Rippln, which the platform is the technology that's connecting the community. And we're all seeing that happen right before our eyes. But I think that, if you guys truly understand the amount of energy and effort, each one of these concepts could be a standalone company. There's not one of these concepts that we just shared that, couldn't be a successful company alone. And we're launching all of these simultaneously. And so the level of integration, the level of commitment from all of the teams behind the scenes is truly insane. And I truly feel blessed and, humbled by, the quality of people that are really coming to put this into fruition. And once again, and that means every one of you on the line, because this technology, these concepts are nothing without, you and the power of one and the people that are developing the real glue and the real relationships behind it. That's where the power is, and that's what makes it, successful. And so I just wanted to reiterate that, Jonathan. I know you're kind of going to go into some of the other components of, as we see those main components come to life in the next 100 days, there's also really big visions that we're working on right now to come right at the tail end of it to go into as we start impacting the masses for stage 3. So I'll turn it back over to you.
Hey, thank you, my friend. Appreciate you a ton. And I agree 1,000,000% with everything you just said, buddy. And basically, where we're at now, I think that, it's important to understand that each of those 3 things are, what did we release? No, we actually released 4 major concepts to you right then and there, right? We released the first social gaming user-generated content app, the world's first voice-activated smartwatch Bluetooth syncs with your iPhone or Android, the Rippln Connect, which gives us the ability to connect with pretty much any app, any website across the world, to track all the purchases taking place within it, and App Craze. I mean, those concepts alone, each of those could independently be a huge company, and I think that should be our primary focus for the next 100 days as we go out and we really show the world the power of our incentivized sharing platform and our voice, because it's really, just like Brian said, it's your voice, it's your influence in the marketplace that, you now have the ability to track and see and recognize and get recognized for and get rewarded for at the same time. And, then where we're going from there, I just want to briefly touch upon this because we do have this in the works as well. imagine when you're actually renting your entertainment and movies through the Rippln. Imagine if you got paid when your friend rented a movie or an independent film, whatever it may be, through the Rippln. And, we're working with some of our friends in Hollywood right now. We have some friends who own a few different production companies, and we're looking to source the right films and the right movies. There's a couple coming to market. If I start telling you about it, though, I'm going to start crying because this movie makes you cry every time. And we're putting the technology in place right now so we can literally also prove a model where why are we not getting paid? I mean, when was the last time you went and saw a movie that you didn't probably get a review from a friend about, right? Or a friend did not play in some way, some role in you going to watch that movie. Maybe they said, you got to go see this. It was awesome. Have you heard of this one? Check this out. I mean, movies are one of the most perfect concepts to really prove our people-driven distribution model. How much money do we make the entertainment industry is unbelievable. It's the people who drive almost that entire business, right, in terms of distribution and talking and sharing. And so for us to be able to also share the movies that we love or select independent films, I mean, this is a humongous concept, and we're looking at having a proof of concept in entertainment with one or two different movies before the end of the year. And I think, once we sort of get that original proof of concept, we could possibly turn the heads of Hollywood. And I want to put this out there for everybody to imagine. Imagine if we do 1 million downloads of an original movie in the Rippln, and all of a sudden that next big budget film that might have went to Sundance or whatever it was, all of a sudden they're coming to the Rippln and they're saying, hey, guys, can we actually get distribution? Can your community, be the distribution for our film? Because we want to share the rewards with you. And again, this is just an example. And I think if you take anything away from tonight, what you should really take away is the power, the potential of the Rippln platform. Because everything that we're showing you are all examples of how products, apps, movies, services can integrate into our platform, and you can share these things and actually get paid, get rewarded for it. Because our power is limitless. I mean, this is just the beginning. Where we can go with this, if you really start to, dream a little bit into the future, what are the apps, what are the technologies, what are the things that we can't even imagine right now, which might be connected to the Rippln 5 years down the road. And it just gets insane because we have the ability to stay so current to what's happening in the marketplace. And, really it's all happening right now. So, again, I get all passionate and inspired because movies are one of my favorite things in the world, and the chance to actually get paid from sharing movies with your friends is insane. Last thing we want to also talk about tonight is, we want to get your feedback on this. We'll continue to follow up, but we're benchmarking, a bunch of different products throughout the holiday season. And we started thinking about this and how much money are we all going to spend just on Christmas this year, right? Everybody on the line is going to spend some amount of money, right? And maybe, $500. That'd be really cheap. It may be $1,000. It may be $1,500. It may be $5,000. Heck, I know last year on Christmas, I probably spent $10,000 just on Christmas last year alone because I really felt like just giving to my family, and I wanted to get my cousins some presents and this and that. Well, it's no surprise today. It's no mystery that really electronics are like the grown-ups' toy store. And there are so many cool products coming on the market right now. And at Rippln, we actually have some connections with really some of the who's who in the consumer electronics space. It's kind of where the smartwatch came from. There's also a bunch of other products that are coming out that haven't even hit the shelves yet this holiday season that have kind of been put in front of our desk. And so, we've got the possibility of really just possibly all actually making money this Christmas season. I mean, that'd be a total game changer, right? You actually make money on Christmas instead of Christmas costing you money. But with some of the products that we're looking at introducing, like, this really hot new line of Bluetooth speakers and electronic decor, which is just something that I want so bad. These little, totally like mobile on the go Bluetooth sync speakers that pump like crazy. So many applications of those things, right? If you go to the gym, if you go outside, you go to the beach, you go to the park, you're going into different rooms of your house. I mean, it's just pretty much endless what you can do with that, and then have your music with you anywhere you go. plus, mobile on-the-go charger products like Mophie cases, which we've been sharing, innovative headphones and earplugs, like we shared earlier, classy and adventurous iPhone and iPad cases, and possibly, we want to get your feedback, but possibly a custom Rippln Android tablet, which I believe also we can make a lot of magic happen with. So that's just some of the other products in the pipeline for this holiday season, depending on which direction we all want to go. So stay tuned, because you might get an email about that soon. And then lastly, we have our first transformational coaching offer, which we've already introduced to the Rippln. This is live, available for purchase right now. You can actually make referrals of this, and as a fan, you can purchase this right now. As a player, you get this product, you get this transformational program for free when a fan purchases it, and it puts 150 Rippln points back into the Rippln instantly. So 150 points go into the Rippln instantly to be redeemed for cash and rewards. And the most important thing, though, really is just the E factor itself. Joseph McClendon III, who you're looking at here, is one of the world's most renowned peak performance strategists and really just coaches to help people achieve their dreams and goals in life. He's been Tony Robbins' partner for the last decade, if not more, I believe. He's literally spoken in front of millions and millions of people and has a methodology that is so good at really helping people become more effective and really helping people actually achieve, what it is they want to achieve, their goals, their dreams, their visions, their missions. And, this is so core to who Rippln is as well, because, what we're about is really transformation. And if we want to transform industries, then first we have to transform ourselves. It's only when we're transformed that we create transformational results in life. And so part of what we want to do is really, re-educate America, re-educate the world, re-educate, our international, it's really a global marketplace now. I mean, it's really re-educating the globe. And we think that there's new paradigms emerging, and old paradigms are becoming irrelevant. I mean, all you got to do is look at the average, salary of somebody getting out of college today, and you look at what's happened in the last 50 years, and it's like a sharp decline. People go to school, they spend $100,000, they get out, and they're flipping burgers. And that's the reality of the marketplace we're actually living in right now, unless you're getting advanced college degrees and specialized education. And meanwhile, you've got entrepreneurs like Brian Underwood, right, who start probably, with needing no college education, and, just a few years later, they're a millionaire because of the education that they had that came from a different source. I personally got started in my parents' basement, literally in my parents' basement, and because of these new educational paradigms that we're talking about, by the time I was 26 years old, was a multi-millionaire. So, this isn't, I believe, just additional information. I believe it's crucial to where we're all going as a society is this new paradigm education for how do we create more results and what does the future look like. So I know I went off on a little tangent there, but man, it's just so important that we really do re-educate the society and the global marketplace, and we're starting to do that with E-Factor. And so, Brian, I know you've been working, hand in hand with Joseph. I know we've got some big updates to make about E-Factor coming out soon as well. We've got some new material that's really going to go more in depth into, the whole program. And I'd love if maybe you just want to share a few words, because you've been working so closely with Joseph, as well as, what this is really about to you.
No, I'd love to. And you hit the nail on the head, and I think that everyone, sees this concept hopefully and understands the power of not only education but learning. And like you said, it's truly, a paradigm of transformation that we're all seeing right in front of our faces, starting with transformational technology, going to transformational strategies. And really, the only way that all of us can keep up is from transformational learning and accelerating our effectiveness on how we can not only go further faster in life, but create the lifestyle that we all deserve. And, one of the things that I wanted to make a comment on for this is because, we always see, people want money. How do they make money? But the reality of it is I encourage you to go interview any considerably wealthy person that you consider wealthy, and I will tell you that I guarantee you that their bank account grew as they grew. And I know that it's been a major part of everybody's life that is spearheading this initiative. But as you start traveling the globe, the one thing that you'll see is how fortunate we are as a society in general. You know, the average person around the world makes less than $1 a day. And they are starving to learn, you know, truly some of the insights that we all have gained value from. And Jonathan, I know you spent tens of thousands of dollars on, you know, getting yourself to the place to where not only you can become more effective, but where you can truly enjoy life and where you have more to contribute back. And so that was the purpose of this content, this transformational content, of being able to be coached by, you know, different segments that are out there in different learning processes to you. And so when you look at our rewards plan is about people becoming players that want to earn rewards. And those players are, you want to earn the rank of, you know, becoming a most valuable player to where you can maximize the amount of rewards of people sharing these buzz offers, these apps, these cool things. But also when it comes to content and coaching, that the same thing exists. And one of the things that I can tell you is that, you know, we not only feel passionate about that mission of it, but that to me is the power of one, is growing your influence by growing your effectiveness. And so we're going to put more and more information out about not only Joseph, but, you know, how you can get started, you know, with getting powered up. And I think that really, Jonathan, from a closing perspective, is this week for every player that's on the telephone line. This is about still powering up the fans that, you know, you've shared this conversation with. Get them to power up to become a player within the Rippln community. And then also get them to maximize the rewards plan. And I think that that's one of the things that you're going to show people is how to maximize not only the coaching offers, but the loyalty offers. And right now, for people that power up, they're already an MVP player with the loyalty offers, and we've extended that. And, you know, right now, as it's extended, take advantage of that. And so I just kind of wanted to pitch in there because we're definitely excited.
We're on the same page, my friend, and I want to reiterate that the E Factor is available for purchase in the Rippln right now. Puts 150 Rippln points into the reward system, and really, just like Brian was saying, getting paid with your Rippln business is easy. Okay, just like we started this whole conversation with at the beginning, you know, this is really a pioneering a new innovative business model. And, you know, what I want to make everybody aware to is tomorrow morning we're going to be sending out an email just for players that's about a training on Wednesday that's going to go specifically into how to build an income with Rippln. It is the full-fledged plan for what you need to do to meet your income goals in life. Basically, how to plug into this model, have the most fun you've ever had, and build a business that can finance your dreams on top of it. And so I want to make sure you're aware of that, because in order to attend that event, you've got to be a player. So if you're not a player yet and you want to get started building your Rippln business, all you need to do is go to your commerce tab right now. So you can literally log into startmyrippln.com, and you go to your commerce tab and you click the full power up button. And it's pretty much going to be about a 30 to 60 second process to power you up. And you're going to get all the advanced features that players get. And really, these are unbelievable business building tools. When you talk about the analytics that become available to you once you're a player, literally you can actually log into your Rippln once you're a player, click Rippln, and you've got a leaderboard of all of the active people in your Rippln, level by level by level by level. So as your Rippln starts to go viral, you can literally sift and sort through all the people who are taking action, who are sharing the concept. And what that gives you the ability to do is actually build a real team. You can build a real team. When you think, okay, how do I want to get to where I want to be in life? And you think, like, you're Pat Riley right now. You want to win the championship. And once you win the championship, you literally can have anything you want to have in life. Well, what do you need to do? You need to go out and build an all-star team. You need to build an amazing team. So you're out there scouting for talent. You're looking at all the different schools. You're assessing people. You're having conversations. Well, imagine if all of that talent was literally sifted and sorted and went right to the top. And you didn't even have to do anything. All you had to do was literally log into, startmyripple.com, click your Ripple, and you could see the top 10 people in every Ripple, all the way down to all the Ripples you had. Those are your teammates right there. Those are the people who you can actually develop new relationships with, friendships with, form community with. And together, we all go on this journey. Together, we all create a business that changes our lives and changes the world, because that's your all-star team right there. And you get those analytics once you power up and become a player in Rippln. Plus, this is what qualifies you to earn rewards on all of the content that we shared with you tonight. So as we introduce app craze, as we introduce Rippln Connect, as we introduce the smartwatch, as we introduce Photo Guesseroo, our first social gaming app, the way that you get paid in all of this is being qualified as a player. So make sure, if you haven't done that yet, you take the time to do that tonight. You can log into startmyripple.com, click your commerce button, and then click the full power up. And in closing, I think last thing we just want to say is really now is the time to position yourself for profits from your Rippln business. Really, truly, the next 100 days of this pre-launch, because like Brian said, we're still in pre-launch. And that's an important thing to understand. The true launch is coming first quarter 2014. Right now, we're in pre-launch. And pre-launch is really all about positioning yourself for, what happens when we roll out the maturity of everything and we open the floodgates and we go gangbusters crazy. You want to be positioned for a viral movement and a viral business like the world has really never seen before. And how you position yourself for that is really taking action now. You power up now. You plug into all the special calls like the one we're doing for players not tomorrow night, but Wednesday night, where we're going to be going over specific training and the plan for how to actually build this business. And you really let the Rippln platform do the rest, right? We all have our job to do here. And when you do your job, the platform does its job. We're really going to create something that knocks it out of the park for all of us, I believe. So, Craig, Brian, any closing words before we sign off here tonight?
I think you covered it beautifully, Jonathan.
No, I think you hit it out of the park, and I guess my closing words are for everyone that has tuned in, and this call, we definitely wanted to give you all a full perspective and a broad vision, and that vision will continue to grow. But I think that the one thing that we all want to reiterate to everyone is that how much we appreciate you seeing what we see, believing what we believe, and how you are definitely the differentiator in this entire model. And so we look forward to the future, and the most exciting news, I believe, for all of us is it has only just begun, and I cannot reiterate that enough. And so remember, every great leader can be led, and that's the great thing about having an incredible team is we're all leading each other. So we definitely appreciate it. We would love all of your feedback, and we look forward to seeing you guys in October in Las Vegas. So stay tuned for that information as well.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Vanessa, too. And it was certainly awesome to introduce everybody to Craig. Now you know who the Wizard of Oz is. And then appreciate everybody else. Obviously, this goes without saying, but there's just a huge team of people behind all of these concepts, every single one that we just showed you. And so this session wouldn't be complete without just a shout out and gratitude to them as well for all their dedication. And looking forward to rocking and rolling. We're going to have some big emails coming out, so stay tuned to your inbox tomorrow morning for some important emails, some important next steps, and we'll see everybody then.